Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can achieve a striped pattern in your right angle weave. So I have a little piece in progress here, and what we're going to be talking about is how to really pattern those units so that you get that nice little diagonal stripe happening in your weave. So right angle weave is traditionally done in little 4 units, and I actually have a little scrap piece here that I'm going to show you. And the reason I wanted to bring this one out is so that you could see kind of side by side why you might want to choose saturated beads as opposed to these sort of half-coated gold crystals that I have here. And while I love these beads and I was really hoping that they were going to work out, they sort of break the illusion of those nice strong stripes that I was looking for. If this is a look you're going for, you can absolutely use whichever beads you like. Today these are all 4mm Czech fire polish beads. So just to kind of let you know what I'm going to be working with. But I just wanted to kind of show you my little scrap piece, and I was like, oh, you know, that's not working. So I went to these beautiful purple beads here. So I'm going to be starting this piece. I'm going to go back to this in just a little bit, so let me go ahead and set that aside. But I have a size 12 beading needle and 4-pound smoke FireLine here, and I have just a few feet just for my demonstration here. But usually when you work with right angle weave, you work in little teensy tiny units of 4. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to pick up 2 of our black beads here, 2 of our purple beads, and bring those down towards the end of our thread. And then very quickly we're just going to kind of tie a little knot. Now if you haven't done right angle weave before, you can absolutely go back and watch our video of how to do right angle weave. This I'm going to move a little bit faster just so I can start talking about that pattern. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of look at our little unit there, and what I want to do is sort of add on that unit so that we continue to make a little pattern. So we can hold it however we want there, whichever way, and I'm actually going to go this way. So we're going to go through that black bead, and I'm actually going to go down through the other black bead right there. So now we're ready to add on our next little unit, and we're going to kind of come around counterclockwise this way. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add 1 black bead and 2 purple beads. So that way, when you slide it down, and you can always test to make sure this is going to work right. So those beads are going to come around and complete that little unit of 4. So we're looking to get that little diagonal stripe of the black. So we just take our needle and kind of come all the way down through. We're going to go through the bead that we were exiting. And now we have our 2 little units there. So now what I need to do is I'm going to get my thread over to that purple bead there, and I'm just going to go through the black bead on the bottom. And just sort of adjust your tension as you work. And then I'm going to come up through that purple bead there. Just like so. So now I'm coming from the top there. Well, on the edge there, it's going to be black, purple, so I know I'm going to need to add a black, but I'm also going to need to add another black, because when I add the purple, you'll see that it comes down, and again, you can just kind of test your thread before you go through all your beads, and we're getting that nice little diagonal stripe. So we're just going to go right up through our purple bead there. And again, same way, we're just going to work our way over the top now, kind of working our way around those little units of 4 and down, and then we're ready to add our next unit. So what I want to kind of impress upon you is as you're doing this, you'll notice, and you can see this really easily with the purple beads here, you have one that's laying this way, and then it kind of steps down with that way, and steps down with this way. So you're going to kind of have a little nice little zigzag that's going to happen with those beads. So let me actually go back to my larger piece here so you can kind of see once you've gone back and forth how it's going to start to really develop here. So when you're at this point in your right angle weave, you're going to actually already have 2 beads in that unit. So now you need to add a bead here and 1 at the bottom. So you start to add 1 black, because I'm coming out of the black bead there, and then 1 purple bead. So you can just sort of see that you're now working with a new type of unit, but it's the same thing, and you can just make sure and just test that your lines are lining up correctly. And then again, we just kind of go back through, over the top, and down. So now what we want to do is we want to add more beads. So now we're going to add a black bead. There we go. And a purple bead. And you can just, like I said, you can just sort of test it just to make sure before you kind of weave it in there. But that's going to sit up there really nice. And then again, we're just going to go through that top bead. And for this, we got to go all the way around. So we're going to go through 3 beads here, through the black bead, through the black bead on the bottom, and we're going to go up through this purple bead. And since we want to connect this unit to the next one, we're actually going to take our needle and go all the way through the next black bead so that we're ready to create another little unit. So that's how you just achieve that little pattern. It's just about keeping your eye on where those beads are laying. And like I said, the little technique of just kind of moving your thread around just so you can really see where it's going to lay before you go through, because then sometimes you have to go back through and it can get tangled. So if you're unsure, that's the best way to sort of test. But by doing this, you can achieve a really cool kind of optical illusion with your right angle weave, and it is a beautiful striped pattern. This full project tutorial and even more videos and all of the supplies you see here are available at Beadaholique.com.